It is Internet Historian time! I've had this on my backlogs since before my little break that I took, but because I am a kind and giving person, I resisted the urge to watch this in my own time, knowing that the most joyous encounter would be to watch it together. So, you guys know the drill. Please go and watch the original. Please go and like the original to give it its fair algorithmic generation so we don't abuse Internet Historian's generosity of making content and us capitalizing on it by making our own slop out of his content. And yeah, just go do that. And let's see what our good friend Internet Historian has to offer. This is a 33-minute video. If we can make this less than 45 minutes in the editing, I'll be very happy.
Brought to you by NordVPN.
NordVPN? What does it say? The following is feel free to react to these Whoa, it's probably a good thing I did. You know what? I knew that this is what Internet Historian would ask. Internet Historian and me are good buds. Like, we're very good buds. He told me directly. He sent me an intellectual telepathic communication to say, Makari, do not react to this for 48 hours after its upload. And being the good individual I am, I didn't. I am respectful of the content creators. Anyway. Hello, it's me, the delivery man, here to deliver your dignity. It's me.
Oh. It's you.
Oh. What do you mean
completed
it's
the
me?
crash course on theatre and wine, have you?
Man, why is that?
Feeling smug?
Why do the internet historians like, oh, it's you, remind me of my dad whenever I used to go to the shooting club with him? Oh, it's you. Dude, that hits me right in the goddamn feels. Man, now I feel
on
bad.
theatre and wine, have you? Feeling smug, are we?
Yes.
Deserving of love, perhaps?
We've already
Worthy of
garnered
eye
so much
contact.
knowledge and sophistication
That's
from your
cute,
previous
but
video.
there's still a
We're here
lot
to complete
more
the
work to be
course.
done. Look here. These shoes are made from real Italian leather.
Ooh,
This
shiny.
bag is made from the leather of real Italian.
Cannibal Holocaust much? Also, I can't be the only person who gets a very cathartic experience of having the smell of fresh leather. Oh god, it's the sensation of buying new high-quality shoes. That's the good stuff right there. I'm not an addict, I promise. I can not sniff shoes whenever I so choose. I am capable of holding myself to a standard and not getting carried away, I promise. But the smell of new shoes, though. Like,
Not impressed?
the smell of freshly
How
opened
about
Pokemon
this
cards.
fur coat? It's made from the wolf
Shiny!
of Wall Street. An Xbox with the original PT demo still installed.
Now that's class right there. We need to talk about like the difference between what people consider to be antiquities. You know, because to the working Joe, a delightful sign of sophistication and wealth would be owning gold. However, to the gamer like you or I, the signifier of wealth would be owning rare collectibles like the original Mario in mint condition. Ah, yes, Jeffrey. Why, you are a connoisseur of fine gaming paraphernalia. Well, what rare, antiquated game do you own on your gaming wall? Oh, you have an 8.5 mint condition Mario? You're not posh at all. You need to be on the 9.0 level to talk to me, scum. You know what I mean?
A signed first edition copy of Moby Dick with its little-known sequel, Moby Ball. And last but not
such
least,
a simple bitch. I
your
laugh at the
squid
stupidest shit. I'm
from
sorry.
Squid Game. Don't you get it? Oddities.
Moby put my balls in your mouth.
Weird stuff.
Am I an oddity?
I mean, the first section.
Guys, one's enchantment if I'm an
I'm
oddity.
gonna level with you.
Would you collect me?
And we went off topic. I don't even know what this is about anymore. Here's my Netflix stand-up special. It should explain everything.
ADHD. Feel like. This is literally ADHD. This is pure ADHD. I love it. This is why
It's
it's
going to be
fits
a
me
hard
so well.
act to follow. That Kramer guy has some very good one-liners. But I've got
You wanna hear
some
my
jokes
one-liner?
lined up. Question. Why
guys wanna get a
is
Sorcon?
perfume so expensive?
Sorcon D's
Because
nuts.
you have to pay perfume. Why do they call it cologne? must not be
Comedy's hard, though. Comedy is hard.
Deodorant? In this market? I'd want a deodor buy.
Internet historians
Is this thing on?
do the typical American
let me
comedian
tell
thing
you
and
the
make
story
jokes
of
about gay
perfume.
people. Do it!
See, to be fancy,
An easy win.
people wanted to stink good, but people naturally stink bad. It's science. So in the beginning, people went
Do
to
I
the
stink
garden
bad?
to find
Oh
the
no, now you're
best
going to make me
smelling
have a
things that they
complexion.
could. Here's a photo of the oldest perfume bottles ever found. And what's inside?
Ooh.
Just garden stuff that smells nice.
You kidding me? You kidding me? Nah, dude. Nah. Those are not perfume bottles. That was cope from the people who found them. They realized that these were just bongs. Yeah, no, these are absolutely perfume bottles. Yeah, get a good whiff. That's the stuff. Why are your eyes red and why are you suddenly getting the munchies? Dude, I don't know, man, but this perfume's really good, man.
Ever found. And what's inside? Just garden stuff that smells nice. But we did not just stop at that, because the story of perfume is the story of progress.
I'm gonna be honest.
By the time Cleopatra
I find the whole idea of perfume and smell to be kind of completely unnecessary. Like, so long as I don't smell like ass, that's all that matters. And no, a deodorant is not a replacement for a shower. If your hygiene is good enough, generally speaking, you're never really gonna smell bad. So why would I want to smell like anything? I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is just a personal preference. I find like perfumes are unnecessary. Deodorants are nice just so you feel fresh every once in a while. But like perfume, why? I don't know. Maybe it's like my oversensory stimulation. But most people who wear perfume, I try to stay away from because it's like it's an affront to my nasal cavities. Why would I want to smell flowers when I can just go smell an actual flower?
came around, perfume
That's
science had
expensive.
really
Perfume's
advanced.
stupid
You see,
expensive too.
Cleopatra loved perfume. In fact, it was said that she had a whole perfume factory. The
Makes sense, makes
Olfactory,
sense.
I believe they called
If you
it.
had the money, why not?
But this factory wasn't just mashing flowers. They were using emulsifiers, adding resins, creating tinctures.
Oh, it's like an art.
Cleopatra's very own Chanel No. 1 contained cardamom, cinnamon, olive oil, and myrrh.
Chanel.
So we've gone from garden to pantry.
You know we're living in a dystopian era where Nikocado avocado memes have suddenly come back in fashion. But perfumes are like one of those things like wine, where it's one of those kind of like unnecessarily fancy things that people will spend thousands of dollars on just because of the name. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever like gone into town or something, or you've gone through like a shopping complex and you've seen these shops that sell like watches or wines. Like, if you can guarantee that there are going to be one or two products that are going to be overly expensive for what they are, like when it's boiled down to the raw fundamentals of what something is, you know, watches, wine, people will make those be stupidly expensive for no apparent reason. At least with watches, you know that there's been some craftsmanship put into the construction of it. Still expensive for what it is, sure. With wine, you know, there's been craftsmanship of fermenting and crafting the wine and whatever. You know, it's taken time to grow. Perfume, on the other hand, is literally a child's version of what can we throw in the jar and see what comes out of it. And they're like, ah, yes, we will charge you $10,000 for a single vial. That and horse urine. The amount of weird things that go into perfume would not. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that on my body.
And she loved spritzing the stuff everywhere. Supposedly even spraying it all over
Dude,
the
perfumes
sails
give
of
me
her
headaches.
ship. That way, people
I can't
could
even put,
smell
like,
her from miles
air
off
freshener in
as
my
she
house without getting a
sailed the
headache.
Nile. By the early Middle Ages, we had figured out the formula for perfume. Effectively, there are three main components:
Piss.
water, alcohol, and the most important bit,
Piss.
the aromatic oils. And by the way, perfume and cologne are actually the same thing, but in different ratios of these ingredients.
Oh,
By the 1600s,
knowledge.
they were trying all sorts
And
of
I
different
didn't start
things.
watching this video to actually learn.
Some things went, well, dude, pine. Pine.
Wait, is that?
What about orange? I call it
Oh,
Newcastle
what is that
smell.
show? Is that
But once global trade opened
Oh,
up,
what was
our
that
taste
show
became
called?
more
Merlin, I think it was.
exotic. Out of the pantry and into the petting zoo. For you see, it turns out
Okay, so I could understand why perfume would be something prevalent in the medieval ages when everything smells like but in the modern era, perfume just seems so unnecessary. Much like most things in life, humans have a crippling tendency of bastardizing something for the sake of being snide. No, for being like narcissistic. Like the idea of perfume back in ye olde era, it was there for the sake of hiding your nose from the affronts of the decaying corpses in the street from the Black Plague, or from hiding the smell of the poo-poo and pee-pee from the lack of plumbing that we would have. Nowadays, it's just, well, I'm going to spend all this money on something I don't need just to try and flex my wealth.
That animals have been hoarding all of the most bestest perfume smells.
Yup.
Yes.
How much?
In the olden days, a bunch of manly men.
I'm sorry. Can you just imagine that perfume in the modern era is just how we've been gaslit by big name in the big name perfume industry to convince ourselves that putting like animal pee and poo on our body is how to smell good. Ah, yes, I too love rubbing whale pee on my body. Smells good. At least that's what the wealthy people tell me.
Would brave very rough seas in order to pull aboard sperm whales. Now, they would cut open the digestive tract and pluck out a secretion of bile called ambergris, or in English, grey amber. Sometimes they would harvest the rest of the whale, but eventually ambergris became so valuable that it was simply more economical to dump the carcass back in the ocean. And
humans are scum. But to be fair, without going into the ethics of like sustainable farming and whatever, like in the modern era, people get very upset about like, oh, they're killing the whales and stuff. Thing is, in 99% of cases in this day and age, the way like there's a very forced perspective put on things. A lot of these like animal conservation societies will make it seem like, oh, they're killing all the whales. 90% of the time, most of the time they show you these farming systems being done, they're actually being done on sustainable wildlife. They like to make the narrative that all of the wildlife they're harvesting for stuff like perfume and whatever are endangered or going extinct. And yes, that does happen, absolutely. But it's that sentiment of how we live in a sort of time where you are led to believe things and they just hope you follow along. Like, I realize that this is the most ironic use of this quote, but the whole time we live in a society where people are sheep rings so true with the whole conservation acts a lot of the time. They want you to believe their narrative, is what I'm saying. And yes, humanity can be shit sometimes.
Like when you
but it's
kill
not
a
as shit as what they like to make.
Prize-winning jizz, and then just leave it there on the tracks. All right, quick science lesson, eggheads. Ambergris comes from the gross part of the whale. And when the whale eats something quite sharp, let's say human bones, the ambergris forms around them and protects the lining of the gut.
Oh my god!
That's the ambergris role.
Guys, do not feed yourself to whales.
As the sharp thing continues down the intestines, the whale doesn't get poked. But if ambergris comes from a whale's digestive tract, what does it smell like? Surely not good. When it's dry, it smells kind of woody,
smell man poop.
Earthy. But when it's wet, it smells like ass. But it's not actually the smell that's the useful function.
Ambergris is a
fixative.
No.
Well, so what it does is heighten and bring out the scent of other things. These flowers.
Ooh, chemistry. Guys, it's alchemy.
Right, but
we're becoming an alchemist.
That's the one. Now, once they figured this out, they realized, oh, there's a whole bunch of things we can use a fixative for. And they got quite gross with it. They added it to food.
Just a touch.
Oh, God.
In fact, it was said that King Charles's favorite dish was ambergris on eggs.
It's not a
But
good.
they didn't stop there. They added it to rum.
Cooking
they
meme
added
until
it
you
to
put Gordon
coffee.
Ramsay in there.
They added it to
So long as he's not trying to make a freaking grilled cheese with me.
And they used it as an aphrodisiac. Now, some people will say that the whale is a mammal. But that's not strictly true. It is, in fact, a fish.
Now let's not give labels here. We want to make sure everything can be labeled as they want. Like, I personally don't want to be labeled as cringe, but I am free, therefore I am.
Just look at the tail. And you may have also heard that there are a lot fewer of them these days.
I love
which,
how
although a relief
I love
because their
how,
absence helps offset the
Internet
sea
historian
level
can
change,
literally
climate,
finesse you
whatever.
into believing anything he wants
We were
just because
worried
he's
that
so
we might run out.
charismatic.
So we
how he
said
says it.
no more hunting whales for ambergris. But did that stop the perfumers? No.
No.
They immediately asked, hey, do you think there are any other animals that smell kind of weird? Yes. Turns out the musk deer has some potential. Now we hunt the male musk deer specifically because it has a particular gland
Look at those
called
teeth,
a
though!
musk pod, which
I wouldn't want to
when
hunt that
dried
thing.
out
That thing would
looks like this.
completely tear me apart.
And it uses it to mark its territory and attract mates. Now don't worry, unlike ambergris,
Why does musk deer sound like something that a furry would make their persona? Notices your musky wusky, ooh. And yes, I realize the irony in the fact that I am a kitsune right now. Please don't point that out.
this doesn't smell like ass. Instead, it smells like ammonia and piss.
That's the way he says
You
it!
just can't get a smell like that at home. So
This
we
guy-
started hunting them.
okay. I cannot be the only person who believes this. Internet historian could say anything, and you would unequivocally believe him just because of how much riz he has.
To the point where they were.
This man could
protected.
literally tell me that the sky is orange, and I would believe him.
So the authorities said you have to find a different animal. So from there
Damn
they moved
authorities.
on to hyrax feces. One of the most feared and dangerous animals in all of Africa.
Uh-huh.
And it was the inspiration for the original Lynx Africa smell.
Surely if you're going after the
Now,
poop,
their
though, you wouldn't need
feces,
to
when
kill the
dried,
animal for
is
it.
called hyracium, or Africa stone.
Ooh.
But it's not just these ones, they have other stones in Africa. Come on, guys. Now,
Whoa,
the
whoa,
smell is
whoa, 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 whoa. You're telling me there's more than one kind of stone? Dude, I look at a rock, and that's a goddamn rock. You mean to tell me there's different classifications of rock? Oh, that's a sandstone rock. That's a limestone rock. That's a algae rock. And that's an upside-down quadriplegic rock. That's a conjugal finger. Dude, it's a rock. It's a rock. Stop trying to confuse me. My tiny pea-sized brain cannot understand your overly complicated necessities. Please!
fairly similar to deer musk, but unlike
Stop
the deer,
sniffing
the hyrax
animal
doesn't
butts!
need to be killed or disturbed for their
Guys,
feces.
stop
They're just
sniffing animal
giving
butts.
it away.
How many times do I have to tell you?
In fact,
sniff
hyrax
mine
even have
instead,
a
what?
communal toilet, which is used
Ugh.
for generations, which makes it very easy to collect up all the good stuff. But it's not just the hyrax, I've got other animals. Remember those civets from the Varus videos?
Oh.
Wait, don't wash that thing's
That's a
anus.
long boy.
Mom, get
That's
the
a
bottle.
dinosaur.
Get
That's
the
a
bottle.
No, you ain't
Turns out
convinced
it's
me
the
otherwise.
anal
That's a
gland of the
dinosaur.
civet that's actually the important smelling bit. Who's...
Man, the people of ye old year were kind of freaks, right? Like, when are we gonna realize that the ye oldie people were just trying to make us believe that they were trying to farm this stuff for our benefit so that we could have products, when in reality they were just some ass sniffers. Like, people of the ye old years didn't have, like, if you were rich back in the good old days, you didn't have anything to do other than smell the ass of animals. Oh, yes, Harold, the ass of this stoat is delightful. How's your horse ass coming along? Oh, yes, I can smell the delicacy now. That's the good stuff. Oh, I'm getting high off of this, Harold. I'm getting so high.
figuring this out?
I
When
mean,
we use
fuck,
the good
dude.
parts of the
Wait,
animal,
that
but
was the same.
it's the-
These are the same people that used to, like, this is coming from the same people who ate mummy dust. I'm not even shitting you. The British oligarchs of the ye old years literally put mummy dust on their toast. They would buy Egyptian mummies, have them shipped to England, and eat them. And then finesse us into believing that it was something that was going to be used for, like, cosmetics and shit.
the bacon part of the pig. You know? Anyway, it's the ass that produces all the delicious musk.
That's
Smells like shit.
But it must be good for something because it
Like
goes
my
for
content.
$4,000
Like my
a kilo.
content.
But we ain't
Smells
done
like
yet.
shit.
You know when you
Like my
just killed a
content.
beaver and you cut open its ripe abdomen? Well, the reason it smells so good
Yeah, okay,
is
I know
because of
that,
a little
like,
gland
firsthand.
called the castor sac, which makes a yellowy scum-like substance.
Exactly. Mummies
called
weren't rare
castoreum.
until the British ate
And it
them.
is used to waterproof
Now we have
the
mummy.
beaver's fur coat
Mummy,
and
I'm sorry,
also
mummy,
mark
mummy.
its territory. It is also very fragrant. And you know what that means. If it smells, it sells. And in this case, castoreum is more kind of leathery, with smoky hints of vanilla.
Also, I just have to be honest, like, I don't really have a problem with this kind of stuff. Like, going and, you know, making use of animals is just human nature, I guess. The only time I really get upset with this kind of stuff is when there's waste. If it's like hunting an endangered species. Like, I think it's the natural, it's a fine thing to do in human society, just so long as it's done conservatively. If you're going out there, like, killing a shark just for its fins, and then you throw the rest of the shark back into the ocean, you. I could have eaten that shark. I was hungry. How dare you?
But unfortunately today, you're not allowed to harvest the beaver. They're walking around very smugly.
Insert naked gun meme here. Nice beaver. Thank you, I stuffed it myself.
Just like the other protected animals. But you know what? We don't need them, because we have a synthetic version of castoreum now, and it's just as good.
I was about to say, like, in this day and age, why would you, like, most of the stuff you would go and harvest and, like, hunt for this kind of stuff is just replaceable with synthetic stuff, because it's going to be the same thing. The only reason why you'd want the organic version is because, oh, I'm posh and I'm rich enough to afford the organic version. No, if I go for the synthetic, that's low class tripe. Oh, look at me, Harold. I can afford 1 gigabyte Wi-Fi. Yes. God, the freaking audacity of rich people. Eat the rich. Eat the rich. Also, I've just noticed his eyes are slightly off center, and it's really upsetting the art part of my brain.
You know what? We've got a synthetic for the whale, the deer, and the civet now. And they're used in lots of mainstream perfumes. Modern day, we've got a synthetic version of practically everything. And even better, the advancement of synthetics has opened up a huge range of smells that were never possible to distill or capture before. And the result is some very silly perfumes.
Why
You know
do people
that
care
bacon
about
bit
this
of the pig?
smell
We
so
got
much,
that now.
though?
Windex smelling, pretty much anything you can think of, really.
This goes back to the smell of ass. So long as I don't smell of ass in the morning, I'm fine. I mean, sometimes people like it when I'm a bit musky-wusky, but... You know what I mean? Like, does it really matter that heavily how you smell? I honestly could not give a damn.
Someone has created a fragrance of it.
Although, if somebody wants to go around smelling
in some
like
instances, we're
freshly
even
cooked
beating
toast, I'll be
nature
very
herself.
happy.
For example, you know
Makes
those
you
roses
smell
that you get at
much
the
more
florist,
delectable.
and then people go, these smell beautiful. But actually, those roses
Like,
are
as
not
a
bred
meme,
to smell
it's kind of
good.
funny.
They're so specialized for good looks,
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
longevity, and
We
disease
definitely
resistance that they've
adjust our
practically
senses based on
altogether
how something
lost their
smells.
smell.
But I
So
don't see
often
it
what the
being as, like,
florist will
such a
do is
necessary
add
thing.
an additional scent to the flower post-picking.
What?
And typically a synthetic rose perfume is used because it lasts longer and doesn't dry out the flower. Yep, we're just that good. And what's the future for perfumes?
Only humans!
Well, I don't know. But what I do know is it's going to involve some...
Bro, I hate being part of the human race. We are some of the most self-deprecant, hypocritical bastards imaginable. Man, I really want a rose. You know what? Rather than having a rose, I'm gonna spray this fake rose with rose smell that we harvested with real roses. Oh, humans make no sense.
Comedy
Isaac,
good.
thank you for the follow, dude.
Anyway, where was I?
Jokes! Comedy!
Yeah. My wife asked me for Chanel No. 5, and I was like, not right now. I'm watching the football. You know, on the television.
My wife asked me for Chanel No. 5, so I
You know
gave
what?
her Mambo
I am
No.
gonna say,
5. One,
if it's good enough
2,
for Kramer,
3, 4,
it's good
5.
enough for me.
Everybody gonna kick my ass. Free banana at your
Airtime.
door.
This Christmas, she works in the
Airtime.
big city.
Busy professional, my career, this and that.
But she's going home for Christmas.
Small towns
This
are
year's
the worst.
best Christmas
I'm
movie.
a big city career gal.
Starring, Bruce Willis.
Oh my god, are you okay?
I am now.
NordVPN,
And she's
man.
about to learn the meaning of Nordmas. The most VPNist time of year with a 30-day money-back
Dude,
guarantee.
sometimes these ads are better than the entire show itself.
Soon I will have installed
villain.
public Wi-Fi in all of Nordville, and once
Not
they
public
use it,
Wi-Fi.
their
My
private
one
data will
weakness.
be exposed.
No.
Governor Craven's got this town by the baubles, and I
Oh my
can't
God, he's
believe that
swole.
big city company you work for
Why is he so
works
buff?
with him.
Come on, we have to put up the Nordmas lights for the big Nordmas festival.
What?
As is tradition. Fucking
Let's go
pipe
ice
flags
skating.
everywhere. I can never get
What?
away from them.
He's so cute, but I'm a city girl.
Girl, you sound like you're in love.
I thought I knew what Nordmas meant, but it means nothing
Guys, once
without
in the chat, you
you.
go see this
It's
movie.
like the end of March.
We get internet
It's
historian to be a
time of
director,
year
please.
with Nord's huge discount on a 2-year plan. Use the URL nordvpn.com/internet story for a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's the best VPN in town.
Now I love
Whoa.
small town, and I'm in love with
NordVPN.
Nordman.
I
but
would
I
never
can't leave
use
behind
VPN,
big
but
city
if I did, I would
Korea.
certainly use
True
Nord
love
because of
And
internet
a
historian.
really good VPN don't come around too much.
Actually, does
you
anybody
gotta
actually
take a
use
chance.
VPNs?
Boss,
I'm
don't
too
care
stupid
about
to
making
even understand
partner
this
at
kind
the
of
firm
stuff.
anymore. I've found my new home.
Big public Wi-Fi is spreading across the city. Nordmas will be ruined.
No!
Oh, need a hand?
How are
No,
we
you
gonna
mean
stop him,
Nord a
Nordman?
hand?
With this Nord-themed brick.
I love you, Nordman.
Murder?
And I love you,
In my
big
society?
city woman. Let's go home and watch the international Netflix catalog.
It's
a Nordmas miracle. Go to nordvpn.com/internet historian to get a huge deal on a 2-year plan.
Oh
plus 4
yeah, you can
bonus
get like
Nordmas months.
perfume flavored
Ads are-
drinks as well.
You
Like,
know,
what are those
that
like
ad makes
water
me think
drinks
about
have
the
like
time
flavored water or
I
something?
nearly had a wife.
So stupid.
Feels like a lifetime ago now. I was in Japan, living the digital nomad lifestyle. I had a
I
startup
think contemplating
selling
maybe getting
t-shirts
sponsored by one of those
down by
companies
the
because they will
seashore.
sponsor literally
But
anyone.
I broke the one rule
But am I
of
that
being
desperate?
a digital nomad. I got mad
Mr. Pinchy.
digitally. And that's when I
That's
saw
not
her.
Pinchy right there. Come back,
It was
Mr.
love at first
Oh.
sight.
Oh.
I remember her laugh. Her touch. Every morning, breakfast in bed.
That is unsettling. Oh boy.
But the truth was, I had no money.
Oh,
We couldn't
mood,
live on
dude,
love
mood.
alone.
Average
So
VTuber
I left.
experience, am I right?
I sought out
Guys, that's so sad. Can we get 5 gifted subs? Where's the audio? Where's the audio? Did it get muted? YouTube, why would you mute this?
to invent.
It is. It's been. No, YouTube.
And I bet you're
you
wondering
piece
how
of
I
shit.
finally struck it rich. Well, truth is, I'm the guy who invented
Damn
the
you,
Joe
YouTube,
Rogan
and your copyright
podcast.
claiming. Damn you, Shark Tank,
Once I
having
became a
copyrighted music.
gajillionaire, I went back to that beach to try and find her. But instead, I hit her with my boat. We never found her
It's not
body.
murder unless it's found.
She had a secret.
Just hide the
One
body.
she took to her grave that I was sworn not to tell. She's not
Because it was
around,
hosted
so...
by rich people.
Dude,
True.
She
Goddamn
was a
Shark Tank.
mermaid.
Whoa!
Come on, champ, we're going to Japan.
Oh God, we're going back to the whole element of fucking the animals, aren't we? Oh God, she's a fish. They're gonna turn her into perfume.
And here's where it all begins. In the year 2022.
Oh no,
It's a Tuesday, probably.
guys,
And local folklore
it's a monster girl in Japan. This was not a public library. This was a hentai collection. And
researcher Hiroshi Kinokita
Of course it's
is looking
Japan.
up some fantastical animals
Of
in the
course it's
National
Japan.
Yokai Dictionary. It's like the bestiary from Witcher, right? And he comes across a photo negative of a mermaid mummy.
the not so
Oh
little
my
mermaid.
God, he says in Japanese. Upon
Nani?
seeing the mermaid, he knows that he must track it down. He must form
What
a
does it say? Half person, half fish creature. It be R. Yeah, the entire thing's written like a freaking pirate. A beautiful woman on top, but all caught downstairs. In the West, they call them mermaids, but there be a difference. The mermaid is fish only up to the hips. The Ningyano, however, is fish almost all the way up to the neck. No limbs. Oh God, this is hurting my voice. Battle stats, water type, HP 20, attack 10. This shit's Pokemon all the way out the wazoo.
Team, researchers, assemble. So he gets together the best damn crew that he can from the University of Science and Arts at the Okayama Prefecture.
Oh my
And
god,
he plans to
that's
track
so
down
Japanese, it
the
hurts.
mermaid mummy, wherever it has escaped to. Now, it doesn't take him long to figure out that it's being held at the Inuin Temple in Asakuchi.
Live action,
You know the one.
live action
So
Little
he
Mermaid
struts up
movie,
to the
suck
secret
major dick,
building.
we all know this.
And there at the back of the temple
Is a fireproof safe. And inside of that is an
My dignity?
old wooden box.
My dignity.
And inside the old wooden box was the mermaid.
Hey, Diggy, thanks
We
for the
found
follow.
a real one. But where did it come from? Well,
This has the same, hold up, this has the same energy. This has the same energy as this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Bruh. POV me when I don't get at least 7 hours of sleep in the night. Oh god. The fact that people think these things are real is just fascinating to me. Thank you for those follows.
alongside the mermaid was a note that dated back from 1903, and it said, a
Damn,
dried
even
human
1903 they were
fish,
faking it till they made
aka
it.
Ningyo, was caught almost 300 years ago over in the seas of Tosa. It was
Oh
then
guys, this is
dried
totally
up
real, by the way.
and taken to Osaka.
Very real creature.
And from there, it was passed around to many different people until it arrived at the temple. Now, the Ningyo have an important history in Japan, and sightings of these half-fish, half-human creatures have cropped up all across the country. Kinoshita himself had
Guys, definitely very real creatures, not just animatronics and things made by other people.
personally tracked down 13 of them all across Japan,
They're just
usually kept in
effigies. They're not
museums
real.
and temples.
People
However,
want
what you
this
might
kind
not
of shit
know
to be
is
real
that
just so they can
traditionally
believe
have
there's
been
something fantastical out
associated
there.
with bad omens. Aye. And everyone knows the infamous tale of Yao Bikuni.
Okay. This is all about the suspension of disbelief, right? So if the suspension of disbelief means that I have to believe something to disbelieve it, if I don't believe something, right? If I have no belief in the fantastical whatsoever, does that mean that I can just like not believe at all? And if I don't believe, I won't have to be privy to the bad omens? Because if bad omens come from believing in the paranormal to begin with, if I don't believe in the paranormal at all, therefore I can't be privy to the conundrums of what comes from it. Right? I don't know. That's my gigahead
But I'll
level.
recite
way
it
of
to you
thinking
just
about
in
it.
case. So the
I
story
don't know.
is
Paranormal
that
stuff
one
just
day
doesn't. I don't
a
believe in
poor
it.
fisherman
I don't believe in it. I think people have way too over
fish of
imaginations.
his life.
It's
It
all
was
a
a
way
strange
of
looking fish,
convincing
and its
people to
head
believe in
was
shit.
almost human-like. But he brought the fish home and invited all of his friends and family to come over for a feast to
Eat it.
celebrate his
Eat
largest
the
cat.
mystic creature.
No, he's got his arms stretched
Just
out
like
like
we
this.
ate
He's
all
like,
the
"It was this
unicorns."
big." No, it was this big. I swear, it was this big. During dinner, one of the guests sneaks into the kitchen
Like,
to see
I
just how
believe-
big it was. This big? I can't believe it.
I believe that
And
there
he
are some weird
discovers
things
that
out there,
it is
but I don't think
actually
it's paranormal.
a Ningyo. Oh no, he says in perfect Japanese. Now he quickly warns the other guests, don't eat it. And he warns them just in time. Teishi. They've got their fork like right up to their mouth. Teishi eating that. Teishi, don't do it. They throw all their food away. Let's just have some rice and drink the night away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't eat the
So they
mystic
do.
creatures. We
And they
don't want to
have a
do what we did to
lovely-
the unicorns.
However, one very dishonorable guest decided
Like,
to
you know
sneak
that a
a
lot
bit
of these
the
kind of
meat
things-
out of the trash and put it
These
in
like
his
mystic creatures, they
pocket.
believe you. It's
He
like
then
just
goes home
people who
drunk
don't know what they're
and
looking
falls
at.
asleep.
Like
He
the
didn't
Loch
eat
Ness
it.
monster.
But when he woke up the next morning,
People perpetuating
he
the
checks his
idea
pockets and... no!
for the sake of their
The
own
delicious
amusement.
fish piece is gone. Turns out, in the night, his daughter had been rummaging around in his pockets looking for treasure,
And she found the meat from his pocket.
and she was such a greedy guts that she decided to eat it then and there.
Internet Soren, I'm very upset you didn't use the Minecraft eating sound. Very upset.
The father was terrified for his daughter,
but she didn't seem to be sick. Do you feel weird at all? And shaking her. He decided not to tell her anything. Maybe it'll all be okay.
Nope, she dead.
However, from that day forward, the daughter never aged. That's right.
She remained a young adult forever.
Man,
She
if it was only
eventually
that
went
simple.
on to marry.
Little do they know that VTubing is that way. You become a VTuber and you never age. For all you know, I could be 5,000 years old. But it's all that weird fish guts I've been eating from people's pockets.
But as her husband got older, she stayed the same age. Eventually her father got
Dude,
old
just
and
age
died.
already.
And soon enough did her husband too. Everyone she ever knew was getting older and dying, but she remained the same age. She was immortal. Eventually,
At age 120,
she decided to shave her head
Still
and
the
become
youngest
a
Japanese
Japanese nun. She traveled the country planting trees as she went, and she did this for 800 years.
but eventually, she grew tired.
Damn, this is a good. This is
You know
how.
what?
This is a
I'm
good story.
tired of living. She entered a cave in her hometown of Obama. And she was determined to never come out again.
Thanks, Obama.
She begged and prayed for the curse to end, but it never.
So this is the prequel to Genshin Impact, right? Damn, I can't believe we have a weird fish creature to thank for Genshin Impact being made. What a story.
Did. She sat in that cave for so long that she turned
To stone.
to stone. And today, at the Kuinji Temple
Man, I'm so
in
glad
Obama,
mystical things
remains
stopped
the
existing
cave
the
that
second
Yao Bakuni
cameras
entered.
came into existence, aren't you
People have
guys?
been into that cave
How
to check whether
convenient
she's still in there,
are
but
safety,
nothing was found. However, a stone statue of her
paranormal things
resides
and
at the
mystical
entrance.
things stop existing the second we
And
develop technology
colloquially,
to record
it
them.
is called the Barack Obama. So we're back with Hiroshi. He asked the Inuan temple if he could borrow the Nino.
Not even going to make
Let me
friggin'
do a
reference to
little
that.
CT scan on it, right? And they agreed. Hiroshi hands the Nino to a team of scientists, and they get to work. They do their tests. Beep, beep,
That
boop.
thing is so
Control
stupid looking.
plus scan on the keyboard, and here are the results.
It's a mannequin. It's one.
Stage 4 cancer. I'm so sorry.
No.
Damn, I didn't realize I was watching an episode of House.
But really, turns out the Nino dates back to the 1800s. The note that said it was from the 1700s was wrong.
Oh.
Its body is made from cloth and cotton, wrapped in
What? Oh my god, guys, I can't believe that the Nino's biological chemistry allows it to have skin made of cotton. Wow! Oh, wow! Gosh, guys, we found the first creature to ever be made up of non-carbon material. No, wait, that's still carbon, isn't it? Isn't it? Wow, what a wild creature to be able to swim through the ocean being made up of cotton. Wow.
pufferfish skin. The tail was made from a croaker. I don't know what that is. Can we show that on the screen? With the mouth of a different fish and the hair of a mammal. And they can see that there's a metal nail in its back. Oh my god, it's inverted.
Man, that must have been
tools.
really hard to have given
Aye.
birth from whoever
The forensic
birthed the Nino.
analysis and the construction
It's
materials
almost like
in
people
its
make
back
this kind of
did
shit to
cast some doubt
spread
over its
rumors and
authenticity.
to make people believe in
But you
shit.
gotta believe in
It's
something.
almost like
damn
humans
it.
are little sheep that believe everything they're told and get
As promised, the Nino was
shoehorned
returned
by
to
those
the
in power.
Inuan temple, where it still lives today. But where, oh where, did my mermaid go?
I hate them.
It's her. You're back. You know what? I kind of missed you. And
Oh my
what the
god.
hell is that?
I'm so glad I didn't take a sip of my coffee. I would have spat my drink out. Damn. Damn, guys, look. It's the average Australian child with no abnormalities whatsoever. I mean, guys, I can't wait till this child grows into their pubescence so that they can get rid of their fish part of their body. Like, this is just the average evolution of an Australian child going from birth into puberty. Like, they lose their scales at, like, 10 years old. They grow their legs at 12. And then before you know it, they're going to high school.
Daddy.
You know what? I never did find her again. I think these things are a big myth.
Is that Yu-Gi-Oh?
We're here on the ancient streets of
Damn,
town,
I thought I was about to watch a good
and
TV show.
there is our destination.
It's
In
time
these
to
trials,
die of
the greatest
ADHD.
luxury that all the elites crave. Oh God, no, not that. The second most thing that mummies. You can find them in these
Mummies
tombs, and
alive.
there's only ever like one dude guarding them. But before we take
This video is cursed, but this is
must
everything an
understand.
internet historian ever does.
mummification,
This man knows how to
started
make
over
cursed shit funny.
5,000 years ago, and they were first discovered
yet
by
I'm
the
learning.
Europeans in the 15th century.
I believe the internet historian is a perfect balance of humor, bullshittery, and actual knowledge that you can learn from. So if only my high school and university teachers could have taught me utilizing the art of memes and shitposts, I would have gone from a B student to an A+ student easily. Like, all of my grades would have been top of the line if this is the kind of way I would have been taught.
But the legend goes the locals knew about them even earlier than that. It's an elaborate process, but
Also,
essentially
I can't
you're
help but look at
drying
this and remember the
person
Mummy
out,
movie.
turning them into a human soul.
Do you guys remember the first Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser? And how much of a banger that movie was? And to this day, the scene of the scarab crawling inside that guy's body and crawling out through his skin sends shivers up my spine. I saw that movie when I was like 12. And when that scene happened, when that scene with the scarab going up inside that guy's body happened, I did not sleep for a week. That scene terrified me as a kid. It gave me nightmares. And my mum and dad actually went to go see it in the cinema when it first came out. And they said that people got up out of the cinema and left at that scene. Like, how crazy is it that just in that short space of time, we're now in a time in our society where people are so desensitized, where that's considered tame. Like, talk about like how things have changed, right?
Salami.
God, I love that movie.
All right, so when the Europeans found all these mummies, what do you think they did? Put it
Leg
in a
open.
museum, right? Wrong.
Ate them.
They used these mothers for everything, and everybody wanted them. What do you mean they used them for everything? Well, fancy people would take whole
I haven't watched this, I swear to God. I made this reference at the beginning. Oh, wow. Okay. Right. Yeah, just a bit of casual cannibalism. Guys, don't worry about it. The British people do not eat humans anymore. Much.
mummies and show them off to their friends at fancy dinners. To really show off the owner's wealth, they would sometimes unwrap them too. They were used as paint. They call this mummy brown, by the way. They were used
Why?
as fertilizer.
Oh man, talk about supercharging your soil.
They were even consumed.
Oh!
No, not like this. By grinding them up into powder and taking them like a herbal
Why
supplement,
though?
which they called mumia.
Did they not think to themselves, these are literally corpses? At what point do they how do they validate doing this without considering themselves to be people who eat corpses? I don't remember what that word is. Cannibals? I mean, it's still cannibalism. Like, you know, British people from the early 1800s, they were sniffing animal asses. They were eating mummies. And they just tried validating this stuff as a way of being philanthropic. Like, we got money, we can get away with this nonsense. Yes, we're not weird, we're not freaky, we're just very bored.
With such high demand for your mum, after a while, they began to run out of stock. Uh-oh. They were becoming rarer
I
and
wonder
rarer
why
to find.
that happened.
They were being gobbled off the face of the earth. So the authorities passed a bunch of laws to protect mummies.
I was gonna say, who even allowed them to eat human bodies? Like, surely there's a point where you do this and people are like, you're literally eating a dead body. but we're rich, so we can get away with it. You're right, actually. Carry on.
Is from becoming altogether extinct. These are the last two of their species, and they're both male, but they won't mate. No. But the mummy is much like
This
the
always comes back to how
Tasmanian
shit
tiger.
humans are.
Every once in a while,
We made animals go
one will
extinct
just kinda
and our own
show up
dead.
and prove that they're not altogether extinct.
Open
The year
your
2013.
No,
The
I
location,
mean mummies.
Dyfels in northwest Germany. We are at the
No, being a
Kettler
kid soon, I'm surprised
household,
nobody's come after
owned
me for
by
my
grandfather
fence
Kettler,
yet.
who is now dead. But he had a son,
Yay!
Lutz Kettler. And Lutz Kettler also had a son, Alexander Kettler. And they are both there at the
I bet you
house.
kettle these nuts.
After a rainy day, there was a leak in the roof. So 10-year-old Kettler gets up into the attic to explore.
He finds a mummy.
You know, have a bit of a look around. There's
Finds a dead
whole
body.
bunch of stuff in there. Old antiques, photographs, and, some old roof tiles. Those will be useful. So he goes over to the roof tiles and, behind them is something strange. A box.
Pandora's
a mystery
box.
box. Now, the kid is smart
Ark
and
of
he's
the
seen
Covenant.
Jumanji, so he knows not to touch the box and instead go tell his dad.
Dad, there's some
Now, the
cursed
dad
shit in the
drags
attic.
the box into the center of the room. And he opens it.
Oh, and this is
inside-
how you get the curse of ramen carbs.
A smaller box. But it's very curious because it is covered in hieroglyphs. So, Lutz crosses his fingers, hoping nothing...
Lutz's dad brought a corpse home with him. Lutz's dad was like, yes, this body from ancient Egypt. Yes, no, I'll take it home with me. Doing the old British adage of what's yours is ours, and we'll just slap it in a museum and say that it's ours now. No, you can't have it back even if you want it and it's yours.
supernatural will happen. And he opens the inner box. Inside is a mummy. Oh my god. But there's more.
And not just our mummy, it's a mummy. Yeah, sorry, son, your mummy isn't coming back. She's still a smear on the underside of our car. I'm sorry, I had too many to drink that night, but here's your new mummy. You can call her Dorothy.
There's also two smaller boxes. One contained a death mask, and the other a canopic jar. All right, so we might have a dead body in the house.
God, imagine
now.
being the kid who
So
finds all
naturally,
this.
he calls the authorities. The police
Damn,
show up
our
and
dad
ask
was
some
a
questions.
murderer.
Lutz then explains a little bit of backstory. He remembers that in the 1950s, his father went to Derna in Libya.
Gee, he
There,
definitely wasn't
he acquired
stealing,
a
was he?
chest and had it shipped back home.
Oh, he's stealing.
He remembers a conversation
He's
about it,
stealing.
but grandfather Kettler insisted that it was a
You want to get a family curse? This is how you get a family curse. The dad was like, yes, I'll have a little, I will have a little, a sample of this every once in a while for dinner parties. And then he dies, and his kids wonder why they have a plague of locusts around their house at all times. I wonder if our dad was into the occult.
a replica.
Das ist ein Replika, son.
Not a real mummified person. Now, at this point, the police did not think it was a real body, but it was worth getting it scanned just in case. So he loaded it up
was.
in his station wagon, and off he went to the Berlin Archaeological Institute. Now, they agreed to do a scan, and so they're fiddling with buttons and dials and stuff.
It's
and
real.
It's fake, right? It's fake? Well, here's where things get a little more dramatic. Results inconclusive.
Uh-oh.
There is a fully formed skeleton here. Now, that is unusual for a fake. Often a fake will just be shaped like a person, then filled with sticks and cloth and rubbish. However,
my
it
dignity.
got even stranger. They found that all of the bones were wrapped in some sort of metal plating or foil. Next, they looked at the skull, and that's
It's got
where
a
things were
crown.
the most odd. It was very realistic. Its teeth had roots. Its form was more intricate than the typical fake. It also had a laurel, but even more notably, there was an arrowhead lodged in the eye socket.
I used to be an
Now
Egyptian
that
just
is
like you until I took
very
an
unusual for
arrow
a
to the
fake.
cranium.
Hold on, I got more evidence to do. So they're doing more tests and stuff. All right, we've carbon tested the linen wraps. What's the verdict? Well, those are from the 1900s.
Oh, but he
Now
wrapped
the
up by
plot
his
is
dad?
thickening. We have a supposed fake mummy,
It
but with a very realistic skull.
It is probably a real mummy that got rewrapped later down the line. I'm just saying. his dad was like, you know what? This mummy looks great. What about if I have a little taste? Just a little taste. Oh, I've ruined the wrapping. I better re-wrap them so nobody knows that I've had a little bit of a sample of the delicacies.
Perhaps murdered by an arrow to the head and bandages that date to the modern day. That presents a new problem because it's not unheard of for people to do a murder in the modern day and then cover things up by disguising the body as an ancient artifact. For example, in the year 2000, there was a man who claimed he found the mummy of an ancient Persian princess, the daughter of Xerxes. However, when they examined the body, they found it was, in fact, a potential murder victim from 1996 who died from bludgeoning.
Mate, do you want to buy this mummy that I found in my backyard? Oh, sure, buddy. We're happy to have anything for our museums, we are. Is it, what part of Egypt is it from? Denial. Denial, you say? The river Denial? Yeah. Oh, I absolutely will put that in this. Haha, now I've got plausible deniability that isn't a dead body. Haha.
All right, so the police now actually have to get involved, and it's about to get even more complicated. So they confiscate the body, and they do their own tests, and the results this time say, no, this thing is 2,000 years old. It's not fake at all. It's ancient. What? So eventually the experts all get together and go, okay, this is dumb. Let's take it to Eppendorf University and have it properly tested, and not just tested, crack the thing open like a delicious Kinder Surprise. So this new set of experts gets to work, and when they open up the mummy... Alright, remember how we said that the bones were covered in a special type of foil or metal plating?
Something in the middle.
Well, it turns out the scientists didn't quite get that right. Instead, the bones were sprayed with a metallic chemical that prevented X-rays from going through. The bones were made from plastic. Or at least, the body was. Turns out, the skull is real. Yes, a real skull, and not from an ancient mummy.
Hey guys, want to take a wild guess what happened to the torso? I think Mr. Kettler's dad was a little bit hungry. A little bit peckish, if you will. Mr. Kettler, we know your dad's dead, but did he ever mention he had a satiation for bones? Mr. Kettler was like, oh no, yes, of course I still have the mummy that was supposed to be used for the museum. No, I didn't eat it at all. Darling, get the plaster and the spray. We need to fake a body. His dad literally ate the body and kept the skull.
But from a 20th century man. However, it was not a murder. This skull is from a cadaver, and it was medically prepared for educational purposes. And what about that arrowhead? Well, it turns out that that's from a children's toy. Someone just popped that in the eye socket as a joke. So finally, the mystery was solved. It's just a plastic skeleton with a real dead guy's head put on it. Wait, how does that solve the mystery? Anyway, so Lutz was satisfied that the whole thing was fake and not a murder victim. Oh, let's put that back in the attic, he said very Germanly. But then, eine Bitte? Was ist das? He says. Another box? The Book of the Dead? Well, that sounds like a fun read. So
this guy is literally playing the biggest April Fool's joke. Like, he is doing the average pull the wool over your eyes. Like, oh yeah, no, I keep finding boxes in my attic with lots of antiquities in them. Please give me lots of attention and media coverage. Oh, by the way, did I mention that I'm also selling a book that has no relation to this whatsoever? But look at this other stuff that I'm doing. No, this definitely isn't a ruse. I'm definitely not pulling the wool over your eyes. But also, buy my book. I guarantee you that all of this other stuff is staged just so he can get attention. I guarantee you that's what it is.
Let's start reading the ancient Egyptian out loud. Anaxunamun, Emoter, Brendan Fraser. And what happened next will shock you and make for a very
fucking scared the tits off me.
Good thumbnail.
Oh my god. Is that it? Are we done?
Hey there, champ.
Did we?
You're probably wondering
one's in the
why
chat
I'm
if you
out
didn't
here on
learn
this
today.
park bench.
I didn't learn. I learned much more of this.
Sometimes I just come to see the autumn leaves.
I'm so glad I'm big learning
Winter
this.
will be here soon.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who
Dust
noticed
in
the
the
Goosebumps thing either. What a great show it was. Ah!
Truth is, sport,
I got leaf
I
dust
have
in my
a
face.
highly contagious respiratory disease.
Oh, thanks. Now
I
I
won't
have a
be
highly
around
contagious
much longer.
respiratory
Dust in
disease.
the wind.
Stop it! I'm gonna turn
I'm
those
like
leaves
Willy
into
Wonka
perfume.
from that movie. And you're like that ugly kid from the Willy Wonka movie who gets all his stuff. Or the Oompa Loompa. I don't know. I haven't
Hold on.
seen it.
I did the science time. Willy Wonka cast. Oh, wow. Little Willy Wonka got old. Oh no, sorry. Little Charlie Bucket got old. Oh man, if that doesn't give you existentialism, I don't know what does.
The point is you're so close to being fancy. I can feel it. There's just one lesson left to learn.
Doopity-da.
Anyway, speaking of ancient Egypt, here's this ancient Egyptian gun.
Whoa!
Franz Ferdinand, what are you doing here? Of course, he's not the
POV, you did one tab of acid.
real Franz Ferdinand. He's a mummy. Now, the thing about the ancient Egyptian gun is that it's very
This needs that meme of ancient aliens. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. Ancient aliens. Aliens visited the Egyptians. Guys, it's the reason why they were able to make the pyramids. It's how they had guns back in Egyptian times. It's totally a legitimate thing.
Uh-oh. I hit your congratulations for being somewhat fancy cake. Come on, Mr. Ferdinand. We've got to clean this up before the Park Services Commission hears about this, and they make another complaint. Right, we're almost done with the series, and then it's back to the usual
Insta story. This guy makes me laugh with every single one of his videos. Well, that was certainly a trip. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure you drop by the Twitch side of things to come say hello, and you will definitely not be subjected to my mental derangement at any given time. I promise. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I know that I'm still kind of like pause champing a lot. I'm trying my best not to. Like, I'm still trying to just figure out this whole like content creation business in general. Like doing React Andy content, it's still a new thing to me, and I'm trying to figure out the best way of doing it. So sorry I keep pause champing and interrupting. That's just the way I do it. I like to instill my thought process into things. If that's not your cup of tea, well, you can sniff my musk. Bye!